In defeating Joe Kennedy, the long-serving Massachusetts senator turned his biggest vulnerability into an opportunity. September 1, 2020. Paul Morigi, Getty, The Atlantic. For the better part of a year, Senator Edward Markey was a legislator spiraling toward a forced retirement, a veteran progressive whose legacy in Massachusetts would soon be reduced to a footnote in the latest chapter of the Kennedy dynasty. Polls taken last fall showed Representative Joe Kennedy III trouncing Markey in a Democratic primary. At the height of the coronavirus pandemic this spring, it was unclear whether Markey could even muster enough signatures to get on the ballot. Tonight, however, Markey accomplished what no Democrat or Republican had ever done. He defeated a Kennedy in Massachusetts. Markey's victory in the nation's highest-profile Democratic Senate primary, which all but ensures him another six-year term, is a win for progressives across the country, who rallied around the 74-year-old incumbent as he faced a 39-year-old challenger who tried to make the contest about youthful vigor rather than ideology. Overall, the Massachusetts primary results did not fit neatly into a larger national narrative. They represented a vindication for incumbents but a mixed bag for progressives, who succeeded in protecting Markey but failed in their bid to oust long-serving Representative Richard Neal, the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Neal defeated a young progressive challenger, Holyoke Mayor Alex Morse, in his bid for a 17th term. Yet for Markey, the night capped not merely a comeback but a remarkable political reinvention, one that turned a Democrat with a solid but unspectacular record of accomplishment into a kindred spirit of his fellow New Englander Bernie Sanders. Over nearly half a century in elected office, Markey had a reputation as a solid progressive but not a trailblazer, an effective legislator who toiled in Washington and was rarely seen back home. That all changed several months ago. Kennedy jumped into the race a year ago after a pair of polls showed him well ahead of Markey in a hypothetical matchup. The surveys were a testament to both the Kennedy brand in Massachusetts and the lack of one for Markey, despite his having represented the state in Congress since before Joe Kennedy was born. By a margin of 18 points, Democratic voters in a Boston Globe poll identified Kennedy as the more liberal candidate. The genius of Markey's campaign was that it took his biggest vulnerability and used it as an opportunity. The senator didn't have much of a political identity in Massachusetts, so his supporters created one for him. Markey became someone who most people in Massachusetts who follow politics would say is unrecognizable. Anne Marsh, a veteran Democratic strategist in the Bay State, told me.